Good evening, America. Hello, Chicago. And what's up, West Side? This is P. Ray of Black Excellence Hour, a show for people with high self esteem. I thank you for joining me this Sunday, as you do every Sunday, because Black Excellence Hour's audience is very, very loyal, and I appreciate the company. If you are watching live on either Facebook, on the Black Excellence Hours Facebook page, or on the YouTube page of Intellectual Radio. Be sure to share the live. Share the live today. We are going through that DNC because Lord have mercy. What was that? Eh, Nope. I'm not gonna do that right now. Because this show has order. This show, we have a structure that we stick to, and I'm not gonna get to talking about that DNC until we get a dose of self-esteem from the star of the DNC. Nobody else's name was said more than his at the DNC. I think they said this man's name. I think they said 50 times. I'm gonna look it up, but it was a whole lot of times, and we actually made a song out of it. This man is the 47th president, because after that, I don't think that anybody should be signing up to vote for these people, but we're gonna talk about that. This is Donald John Trump Sr., the 45th president, soon to be president number 47th, because somebody's got to care about the American people. Roll tape.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land. And our agenda is lifting up citizens of every background, race, religion, color, and creed. But while we are fighting every day to build up our nation, the far left only wants to wreck, ruin, and destroy our nation.
All right. Again, that was Donald Trump, my guy. I have been on the I've had a very clear movement here, and that movement always been to get the president back in office, because I am an American. You are Americans, and America has to put Americans first in the United States of America. I don't even understand how this is a choice. I don't get how these people had a convention for 4 days talking about how they were going to elevate immigrants when none of us are immigrants, and everybody clapped. What? What was this about? So anyway, we're not there yet. I want to get some business out of the way before we get going. First things first, shout out to Chicago Red. Chicago Red actually sold out in the city last week. Both myself and the executive director of Chicago Red, Mr. Osiris Sumler, we were guests on the Laura Ingraham show at Fox News. So when I went on Monday, they called me. They're like, P. Ray, we want you to come on Fox News on Monday. And I'm like, wow, okay, sure. So they send the chauffeur car to my house. They come, they pick me up. I go to Fox News. But you know, I wear my MAGA hat, right? My sparkly MAGA hat. So I put my hat on and I walked in the DNC. Now, you know, the DNC is on the west side of Chicago. So you can't have anything on the west side of Chicago, and I'm not going to come if I don't want to come. I mean, if I want to come, I'm coming. So I go. I see all these West Side people. I'm doing my high fives, giving my hugs. They're like, girl, what you doing in here? I'm like, Fox News brought me in here. I can't believe I'm in here either. So I ran into Lori Lightfoot. I told Lori Lightfoot, Madam Mayor, I am so happy to see you. And oh my God, do we miss you? Oh, do we miss you, Madam Mayor? Because you, Madam Mayor, showed us that women like myself, powerful women like myself, that sometimes you got to put men in check when you trying to get stuff done. And you, Madam Mayor, you did that. You did that. So, oh, we miss you. She's like, oh my God, thank you. You're so kind. She had her hair all cut up cute. Shout out to Lori. I also ran into Kellyanne Conway, and I thanked her for hosting the HBCU president event that she had with President Trump because President Harvey of Hampton University, the Better HU, said that they were hosted very well by the White House. And this was actually the best event that he had ever gone to, the best funding structure that he had ever seen. And at the time, he was the longest serving HBCU president. And I believe that this was in his 40th year. So he has much more credibility than anybody else that was there. This wasn't nothing. Shut up, because you don't even know what you're looking at. So I told Kellyanne, thank you for hosting the HBCU presidents. Thank you for getting the HBCUs funded. Thank you for doing that because I am a Hamptonian and those scholarships go to benefit students like myself. So shout out to Kellyanne Conway. I also met, who else did I meet there? I met some people from Fox. I let them know that Black Chicago's voting for Trump. And then they were like, well, actually, that's true because I went outside of the United Center and I was just randomly talking to people. And everybody said they're voting for Trump, not just Black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people. I mean, I'm in downtown Chicago and that's what everyone's saying. Duh. Do y'all think I just come on here and be lying? No, for real. In real life, people are putting their feet to the ground and telling the people that they're voting for Donald Trump, and nobody's ashamed of that. So before we get to all of that, the reason that we are doing this right here, right now, is because our goal is to get the sanctuary city policy repealed. And the reason that we want to get the sanctuary city policy repealed is because of what has happened in Fairfax County, Maryland. In Fairfax County, Maryland, they voted to adopt a sanctuary policy called the Public Trust and Confidentiality Act, aka trust policy. This policy allows anyone, regardless of immigration status, to access county services without fear that that information they share will be disclosed to federal immigration officials. Well, friends, let me tell y'all what happened. Not only did that attract more violent criminals to their county, but it also gave rise to newly arrived multilingual learners, formerly known as English language learners. And that has had a significant cost in the public school system. So they're saying right now, in Fairfax County, it's not in Maryland, it's in Virginia, excuse me. Right now, 6 of 24 high schools in Fairfax County are on the verge of losing their accreditation. And this is partly due to the fact that they don't have enough money to keep the school going. They're also saying that the school performance has dropped in a lot of the schools because these English language learners are not meeting the standards. And so it now looks like the schools are failing and they are taking away their funding as well. They're saying that because these schools are low performing and funding is based on performance, now they're going to close them. So they brought Fairfax County was a really good county that people would move to because they had excellent schools, but now the money is being taken away from the students, giving to the what are they calling these children now? Not English language learners, but multi-language learners. They are saying that the multi-language learners require more money to teach them and they're bringing down the performance of the schools and now the schools are closing. So keep an eye out. This is why we're doing this. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not a kiki. This is not a haha. This is not a funny. P. Ray is dead serious. Okay, y'all. So we're doing this so that we can get these people gone. Now, it's not just P. Ray who's saying this. As I said, people went around the city during the DNC and they were asking them who were they going to vote for. So they ran into these ladies. It looks like they are in Grant Park. I'm going to let you listen to what they said when they asked them, what do you think about Kamala? Roll tape.
What do you guys think about Kamala?
It'll be cool.
She's terrible. If she comes into office, it will be done.
It'll be cool to see a female black
you know, she's half black, not fully black, but it'll be cool to see a black president,
Western Indian,
female black president. But I'm definitely voting for Trump.
Let me tell you something. She tries to get the black vote because if you look at her past things and maybe 10, 15 years ago when she's in interviews, she identifies as West Indian.
She does.
The only way that she's identified as African American is right now, right now, because she wants the voters, but she doesn't give a fuck. Because where was she at in these past 4 years and she's vice president? What has she done for us?
She have not.
Can you say one thing that
I didn't even know she was the vice president?
Can we say what she has done?
Let's go, Trump.
And I am going to stand on Trump, and I'm so sorry if that may ruffle people's feathers, but sorry. I have done my own research, and Trump has done a lot for us, more than what the media tries to portray. They're getting all our favorite rappers. They're having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and all of that to gain, because they think that that's going to make us vote for them, and that's not.
And that never got my vote.
And that will never get my vote.
Twerking,
and I'm going to stand on that. Twerking
did not get my vote.
Meg Thee Stallion, first off, the song that she was even saying is very ignorant.
Hygiene is definitely.
So that's the first one. I got plenty of these, but I'm gonna play y'all the ones that really stood out during the DNC. So those were two black women downtown, two young black women downtown. I'm telling people, nobody under the age of 50 voting for Donald Trump unless you're one of these people who getting paid through the Democratic Party. The average person is saying, let me play this for y'all. This is not P. Ray saying it. This is coming straight out the people's mouths. Even the babies are saying they voting for Trump. Hold on, let me get this going for you and rotate.
I go for Donald Trump. Me too. I go for Trump.
Who are you voting for in 2024?
Trump too.
And why is that, ma'am?
He the best president ever.
Has Barack Obama done anything for around here? And
he never did anything since he been in office.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he out. Trump the best.
Barack Obama, I ain't got no message to him. I don't mess with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Trump supporter. Trump do more for black people and care more about black people. And Barack Obama ain't black. Just to let that be known.
All right. What about Kamala Harris?
I don't f with her either. All Trump all day.
Yeah. What's your message to Donald Trump today?
Keep going. Come get us, man. We waiting on you.
I'm a Trump supporter, man. We gonna keep this going. Trump, he a real businessman. I'm a real Republican, man. I want Trump back in office second term.
What would be your message to Barack Obama?
Well, pump some money in here. Pump some money like Trump, you know?
Your message to Donald Trump?
Come on, man. Get us to the Super Bowl, bro. Make America great, man. That's all I can say. Make America great.
Everyone's so friendly around here.
Yeah.
Everyone's so friendly around
here.
I need chain game. Like this. Here we go.
What's up, my
Who
guy?
we need up in there? Who we finna let drop a bag in the hood? Who we want to get the bag back going in the hood?
Y'all know we gonna need Trump in that joint. Y'all
You
know
ain't
we
gonna
gonna
find
need
a
Trump
soul
in that
around
joint.
here. They ain't gonna say Trump.
Y'all got to dig what's going on, man.
Yeah, I'm taking over Benny show, man. It's Odie, man. I'm a YouTuber, man. Y'all get at me, man. But everything Trump over on this side of town. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can go everywhere. You see how dry this motherfucker is? We need Trump, boy. Whatever it's gonna do to make this flow back, man. Get it up. Let's get it going immediately, man. Benny, who you going for, Benny?
My president is making America great again, Donald Trump.
I'm going with Trump too. We locked in. That's what I'm talking about, man. I need the job with you, man.
I love Chicago.
It's my long lost twin, man. Separated at birth, man.
Better tattoos, better style, better hair.
We both good looking though, man. That's all that count, man.
Better
Balls.
teeth, and a better ride. All right.
That man came to Chicago and got a lot of love. So that was 4 young people saying that they were voting for Donald Trump. Now, we were outside. And when I say we, I mean Chicago Red. Shout out to Chicago Red. We also had our beach party that went very well. When I say it went very well, it was so chill and beautiful and nice and calm. So shout out to everybody who came to sunset the Democratic Party. We hosted another event last Sunday, as I told you, on 70th and Hosted. When we were out there, we caught some interviews. This is an older gentleman. He's about 60 or so, and he's going to tell us why he is supporting Donald Trump. Rotate.
Because since I met Trump, I never met him personally, but I met him through the things
he done did for our community and our color people, you know, and he been the only one putting stuff on the table that's real, trying to feed our family, help us pay bills, and they yeah. So yeah, I'm for somebody like that. I know all the talk about it, but by me being my own man, I'm making my own decision, and I'm going with it. You see what I'm saying? Because I believe he can make a change and make America great for all of us.
Thank you.
All right. Again, and these are just a couple of videos, y'all. I got plenty of videos of people saying this. This is the last one I'm gonna play, and then we're gonna move on with the show. This is a young man out south in Inglewood. These were his words.
What brings
Rotate.
y'all out here today, man? Why y'all supporting Trump out here today?
We're just trying to make America great again.
Man,
that
that's
mean?
what's up.
What that mean?
Better school and better
To better the community,
better houses.
Yep.
to help our peoples out here.
Yeah.
You know, just like how they helping others, help our peoples out here too. Man.
Do you guys think the economy was better now or 4 years ago when Trump was in office?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely when he was in office, because you seen more people having more money and was able to get jobs more and all type of stuff. So he was really for us though.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to that stigma that Republicans are for the rich, do you guys still believe that?
I don't believe in Democrat or Republican.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I think it's all a gimmick too. I really think it's all a gimmick. I really feel like it's all they just all for themselves. So I don't really be looking into that.
Yeah, for sure. You guys have anything you guys want to
The
say?
Democrats and roads, they not trying to give us no money. The Democrats ain't trying to even help our people of color. You see, we have to understand, long ago, we was all, Republicans. We all were, you know. And then here come the Democrats and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying with the brainwash? What's going on now? You see, and if she do win or they get back in, ain't nothing gonna get better. We're gonna be in the same state that we in right now. Yeah. The only time change came to us or America is when Trump first got in the office. Yeah, that's when we first started seeing America being great. You see, because Trump added all us in. Black, everybody. He and all the ones that wasn't fit to be here, he sent them back home. Yeah. So these people want these people they bring it in just to help them. They really pushing us out the way. Look, they used to put us in jail for going in these buildings trying to live. Look at these Venezuelans. They coming in, they opening up shop, they ain't locked them up, they getting them money. Why they didn't give us no money? We still homeless, a lot of us. How they getting better treatment than us? And we don't want to help y'all build on America.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And
So there we go. I like I said, I got plenty, and that I could do a whole show around it. My point is, Black Chicago is voting for Trump. Pass it on. We are not going along with this game that they think that they want to play with us and try to gaslight us and try to say that Kamala was this is so wonderful. And I heard it. And I said, Lord, what are we going to do, Lord? I never heard something so lovely. Come on, get off of it. We all heard the same speech. It was not that. She told us about her mama. She told us that her mama said that everybody doesn't get the same opportunity. So then I'm thinking, who was her mama talking about when she said they don't get the opportunity? Then she said she had an Aunt Mary and an Uncle Freddie, and Aunt Mary and Uncle Freddie taught her and her sister how to make gumbo and play chess. Remember that? So I'm like, so maybe that's where her Negro vibe comes in, through this like mosh posh of Negro circles that her mama built for them, which is cool. You know, her mama deserved to do that for her children. However, I wasn't impressed, and I don't think the average person was impressed. Let's do a couple things. I'm gonna get our phone line going. I forgot to turn the phone on. I just thought about it as I'm talking, and then you all can definitely join our conversation. Excuse me as I do this out loud. One moment. But as I was saying, the people are. Sorry, one moment. We're gonna do this really quickly, and I can poke it.
Welcome, host. You have not started a show session in call-in studio and cannot yet receive calls on hashtag DN.
All right.
Host, you are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Look at technology. So y'all, this is my call queue. If I use the normal phone, I would only be able to do like 3-way. But with this line, I get like up to 20 lines. So call me 773-345-9977, 773-345-9977. Now, as I was saying, they did all of this talking about Trump and they made a song about this, y'all. Check this out, y'all. I want you to listen to this song. These people are a mess. They just made the whole thing about my Donnie. They are calling this the TDS extended remix. Rotate.
Donald Trump. 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 Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Kamala, you're fired. You're fired. Get out. Get out.
I've made the heart-wrenching decision.
Oh,
Donald
man.
Trump.
Man, I messed it up right at the good part. Sorry, y'all. I got too happy. Let's roll that tape again.
To spend my campaign and to support President Trump.
So at the end, that was Mr. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy. He has suspended his campaign and he is supporting Donald Trump. So all of those RFK voters are now going toward Trump. On top of the fact that they still got Cornel West scooping voters away from them. This is absolutely wild, y'all. This is fun. But again, I told you, I don't be lying. What's happening? Okay. Yeah, I don't be lying. And I told you that all of this was going to happen just as it is happening. Now, we also scrubbed some of the speeches, and I want to go through some of the lies that were told here because, again, they think that we're stupid. They said Donald Trump named so many times that they did not talk about any policy. They did not talk about the fact that World War III is literally happening right now at this moment, y'all. Right now. Hezbollah is bombing Tel Aviv at this very moment. And then they said that they're going to bomb them. They're going to stop today and they're going to see how much damage was done. And if it has not been enough damage, they're going to continue to bomb them. The Yemeni people have said that they are going to start their attack on Israel tomorrow. And of course, the Iranians said that they're going to do it too. And this all came from the fact that the Israelis killed a Lebanese military commander in Iran. So it is definitely going down on that side of the world, but nobody has talked about that at the DNC because they were telling lies like this. And this was actually reported by CNN. Roll tape.
Claim from Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware about Project 2025 and former President Trump.
He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud. But not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it. What's it called? Project 2025.
That is false. Trump did not write Project 2025. The project's big policy document published by the Heritage Foundation think tank lists dozens of people as authors, editors, contributors. Donald Trump is not among them.
Okay, so that was CNN, y'all, telling you that Donald Trump had absolutely nothing to do with Project 2025. They also had my least favorite senator, and that is Reverend Raphael Warnock. He's actually a horrible individual. So first things first, I'm going to play him talking about January 6th, and then I'm going to let you all listen to how he does violence in his own life. Roll tape.
The day after my January 5th election, he instigated an insurrection, a violent assault on our nation's capital and the peaceful transfer of power, all driven by the big lie.
Okay, so that was Raphael Warnock. Now remember, the DNC spent $67 million to put the man in office that you're about to hear his ex-wife talk about. Roll tape.
Like, I gotta get to the airport. I gotta go. Close the door. And I was like, please. And he's like, well, I close the door, I'm leaving. And I was like, just hear me out. If your mom died and I had the kids, wouldn't you want me to let them go with you to the funeral? And he just starts backing the car up. And he wasn't going fast. Like, I'm not bleeding, but I just can't believe he would run me over.
You think it was intentional?
He saw me standing right there. I wasn't far. I was touching my daughter in the car seat.
So
He knew.
he told me. He knew that he ran over your foot.
This man's running for United States Senate, and all he cares about right now is his reputation. I work at the mayor's office, and this is a big problem. I've been trying to be very quiet about the way that he is for the sake of my kids and his reputation. He's the pastor at Ebenezer. I have not involved people. I told the mayor we were getting a divorce simply because I report to one level beneath her, and I needed her to know in advance, but I've tried to keep the way that he acts under wraps for a long time, and today he crossed the line. So that is what is going on here, and he's a great actor. He is phenomenal at putting on a really good show.
And all of a sudden she's screaming that I ran over her foot. I don't believe it. But I don't, and certainly that was not my
intent. Yeah. Okay.
Certainly not.
My head was in the car, and you drove
Officer.
off. Why would you
Officer,
drive while
because
my
it's
head is in
because
the
it's hot. It was not. That's not true. Officer, because
So that's Raphael Warnock and his ex-wife. She said he ran her foot over, but he's talking about President Trump and his insurrection. All these people are such a joke to P. Ray. And that's, friends, why I do not take these people seriously. And you shouldn't either. I'm telling you, they gave us no policies. They gave us, so tomorrow, for example, the kids are about to start in the Chicago public schools. Now, we know last school year in the second semester, there was a measles outbreak within the Chicago public schools. This was talked about all over the nation. They said that they got it contained in late May or so. With that being said, we haven't heard anything that they are going to do to make sure that that doesn't happen again, because we know, again, more kids came this summer, regardless of whether or not Brandon wants to admit to that. We also know that there are still no buses. I told y'all, every day I got to leave my house to drive to Hyde Park. It only fuels my passion to dismantle these people, because the Chicago public schools, friends, have $118 million in pupil transportation funds that they absolutely refuse to spend because they're giving it to the unhoused students and the disabled students. But they won't give the parents like me the money to get my child to school, even though they've already budgeted for it. That's the problem. So on top of the fact that the Chicago Teachers Union has stated in their last contract that one of the stipulations was for undocumented people to work in the Chicago public schools, and for the Chicago public schools to defend them if they get into any immigration issues. So we don't know, again, who's in the schools. Not that we think the CPS could do that, but this is a rule. Nothing has been said about any of this, but none of this was discussed. And this is not a CPS issue. This is a nationwide issue. They did not discuss World War III, although Kamala did talk about how Israel, Gaza, the genocide needs to stop, but Israel should be protected. I don't know, whatever she was saying. They're still going to keep funding Israel, but they did not talk about that. She did not talk about the border. Instead, she and Michelle Obama tried to gaslight us and they tried to say that we should focus more on this big American dream rather than how we all got here. How dare you, Michelle Laverne, give away our birthright to these illegals? No, it does matter. We're not the same as these people. But this is what they were pushing at the DNC. They talked about immigrants the entire time and had very little to say about the American Negro. And for that reason, friends, I want us not to listen to them. We cannot listen to them. We cannot allow them to, again, continue to gaslight us into believing that we are all on board with this, because we're not. We can't afford these people. There's also right now in the city of Chicago, I'm going to play this for you. There's a guy who owns an apartment building on the north side in Lincoln Park. His property taxes have gone up from $23,000 to $128,000 per year, and now he's going to have to raise the rent on his one-bedroom apartments
For
to
1 year,
$5,000.
Markellos and his mother own this 10-unit Lincoln.
Sorry, let's go back. He's going to have to raise the rent to $5,000 a month in order to cover his property taxes. But we already know that the illegals are getting a subsidy to help them pay. So they'll get the money to pay this, but our people are going to have to move out. And when I say our people, I mean the American people. Roll tape.
This 700 square foot one bedroom apartment will now cost Michael Markellos $17,494 in property taxes for 1 year. Markellos and his mother own this 10-unit Lincoln Park apartment complex. Last year's tax bill for all 10 units combined was $23,674. But now look at this. The same 10 units are now $128,282 this year, up 440%.
I was outraged. These are basically simple one-bedroom apartments for people, for college graduates who work downtown.
The majority of the annual increases are from the latest installment of tax bills just sent out at the beginning of December. The payment is due before the end of the year, and in just a few months, another installment of taxes will be due.
Merry Christmas and Happy Valentine's Day.
Markellos says the only way to pay for the recent tax hike would be to raise the rent on the one-bedroom apartments. The increase, he says, would scare renters away.
They have to go up to $5,000, $6,000 to pay all the bills.
And no one's going to pay that.
Well, who in their right mind is going to pay for it?
Markellos' attorney is appealing the increase with the Board of Review and the Cook County Assessor's Office, which assesses properties and determines how much to bill. How hard is this for you?
So
this 700.
Sorry about that. So you just heard this guy. He owns this 10-unit property with his mother, and their property taxes have gone up 440%. 440%. Because the city, state, and county are paying for illegals to be here. Do you understand? See, I think that it's very rude and just rude and impolite for people to be pushing us toward a government that has given us these types of results. Because a lot of times people want to put this on Joe and they'll say, well, when did the vice president start making policies? No, friends, this is the Biden-Harris administration. The Biden-Harris administration. This is not Jim Crow Joe by himself. This is him and her together. She was the border czar. She was in charge of making sure that this didn't happen. But because her loyalty is not to the American people, she was raised as a Marxist in French Canada. She didn't even go to high school in America. You know how Chicago people are like, oh, you're from Chicago? What high school did you go to? We should ask her, what high school did you go to? Because she was not here in the United States of America. So we got a person that has benefited greatly from being an immigrant on both sides of her family. And now her allegiance is to the immigrant community. When they brought her family on the stage at the DNC, where were the Harrises of Jamaica? There were no Harrises on the stage. All they got to do is pop out as a black family, auntie, an uncle, a sister, a cousin, a nephew, somebody kin to them. None of them showed up, and Donald Harris is still alive, y'all. Her daddy is still alive and kicking. He is actually a high-level economics professor on the East Coast. So this is not absurd. It's not even like they would have had to go out the country to find the Harrises, but the Harrises are not there because, again, this is all a farce. Please, please, please don't fall for this, y'all. I really, really, really want everybody to think critically. We cannot afford this anymore. And all they wanted to talk about was Orange Man bad. I'm sorry, it is Stanford University where he is. Yes, her father is at Stanford. And again, he has said nothing. He said he doesn't want to have anything to do with this. He does not want to be a part of it at all. So, once again, please make the right choice, y'all. We have one time to get this right. If we do not get this right, we will be taxed and pushed out of our homes. Let's take a caller. Welcome to Black Excellence Hour. Hello?
Hi, P. Ray. This is Michael. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you, Michael, for calling me.
The Democratic National Convention scared the bejesus out of me. I mean, it was a real sugar show. The rhetoric was simply off the charts bad between Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Governor Pritzker, Tim Walz. I mean, I can't imagine a teacher bragging about his students not going to Yale. What was that all about? That's just scary. I mean, it's just a scary, hypocritical lefty rhetoric. And Barack Obama can lie with the best of them. And he praised Joe Biden, even though we all know that he helped push Biden out of the race.
Yeah, they bully him out of his spot.
Right. And to have Michelle Obama talk about excess wealth while living in a pricey mansion on Martha's Vineyard, that's just insane.
Yeah, they had like $70 million.
Get away with it.
Yeah, it was like I said, total gaslighting. Total, and I'm just watching this, and then I'm like in the comments, and then all these people are like, "This is so beautiful. I never thought that I would witness this in my life." I'm like, "What are you looking at? This is an Indian woman. Black folks, please. Like, are we that starved for icons? Are we that starved for motivation that we are now willing to allow somebody to come in and totally co-opt our image to further push us to the back? Because she said she's doing everything for immigrants, which means that's nothing for the American people."
Oh, amen. Well said. This whole thing about immigration reform, I mean, you've got to be kidding me. I don't quite understand why we're pushing for immigration when we have all these unemployed Black people in the country. I don't get it. I don't understand why Black people fall for the rhetoric.
I think it's social acceptance. People want to seem like they're cool and they're, down with the intellectual people. They hip to the hip talk. And the hip talk is Kamala, but I hope we're not listening. Well, I played the videos. The people said no. So thank you, Michael.
Well, we can only.
Go ahead.
Thank you, P. Ray.
No, go ahead, Michael. I just thought you were done.
Oh, no. Well, just one final point here, and thank you for your time. It's almost scary that the mainstream media is really pushing this whole agenda, and they want us to believe, they want us all to forget the last, 3.5 years of the Biden administration, and they want us to forget about Kamala Harris's record in California. I mean, they really think we're that dumb, and that's kind of scary.
Well, I think that as a people, the American people, we should focus more so on the fact that she put lots of children in the California foster care system. So when she was locking up the mothers who were not taking their children to school, those mothers went to prison and those children went into foster care. So if your mother is not stable enough to take you to school, you get removed from her, and then you get put into a more chaotic situation, and then she gets out of prison and then has to fight the government to get you back. Who does that? Kamala does.
I know. I agree. That's scary.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, P. Ray.
773-345-9977. That's what I'm focused on, y'all. The fact that she put the babies in foster care. Lots of them, y'all. I mean, and now tomorrow's the first day of school. All the mamas in the city of Chicago are so happy that school is about to start tomorrow. I mean, everybody. Today we were in the stores high-fiving each other. Yeah, girl, we're getting another year going. So if the mama is not taking her child to school, there is something very unstable about that mother. And it's very unfair to put her in prison because she was unable to find stability for her child. But that's what Kamala Harris did. And she says that she cares about the families. Girl, they had vasectomies and abortions at the DNC. My homegirl and big sister, Angela Stanton King, she is really big in the pro-life movement in the Black space. And Angie did a tally, and she said by Wednesday, there were 25 abortions that took place at the DNC. 25. What? So they didn't talk about Israel. They didn't talk about the border. They didn't talk about Putin. They didn't talk about Kim Jong-un. They didn't talk about the Iranians. They didn't talk about the Lebanese. They didn't talk about the Syrians. They didn't talk about the Yemenis. They did not talk about MS-13. They did not talk about the cartels. They did not talk about Maduro. Instead, they had free Plan Bs, abortions, and vasectomies, and Donald Trump. And that's it. And vibes and feelings, because, oh my God, this was going to be so cool. And then you know what else made it super duper lame to me? Remember they were saying that Beyonce was going to come on the last night? Well, the Harris campaign has admitted that that was a lie, and they told the lie to drum up viewership in order for people to watch the event, because they knew that if they did not say Beyonce was coming, you know, Beyonce brings her own vibe, and that they literally manipulated the public for ratings because they knew that they were not saying anything. Nothing. And people are like, yeah, I saw it and I was just saying I'm gonna vote for her now. Oh, what? Stop showing out. Lord have mercy, y'all. We're in the middle of an invasion. A real live invasion is happening right now in the United States of America. They raping kids, killing women, choking them up, fighting the police. Oh, speaking of fighting the police, I got some gossip for y'all. A brother sent me a news article. Right now, South Shore, it is going down in South Shore. There is a war happening in South Shore. This war in South Shore is occurring because a rapper, you know, they got their rappers over there with like G Herbo and all those folks. Well, one of G Herbo's guys was murdered by a Venezuelan. And so once he got murdered by that Venezuelan, that gang went out and they started hunting Venezuelans. And so one of the guys, his name is No Limit Cairo, he just got caught with a switch in a stolen car, and he too was riding around looking for the Venezuelans. Now, friends, why this is the big issue that we need to pay attention to is because these are the drill rappers. So instead of them saying that they're going to hurt each other, they're going to start making songs about getting the Venezuelans. They hunting, they shooting, they getting them, getting them, getting them, getting them. It's coming. It's coming. And when that starts rolling out, the streets of Chicago are going to be very different, friends, which is why, again, we got to vote for the man who's going to get these people out of here, because they got to go. And ICE is hiring right now. If you go to USA Jobs right now and type in Chicago Immigration Customs Enforcement Agency, they are hiring asylum officers right now. And we need more American Negro people to get these jobs so that we can tell them, not you. They won't be able to pull on those, heartstrings. So we like, you got to go. So if you are serious about the business of the business and you are looking for a job, a federal job, go and apply for ICE. They are hiring at this very moment. With all that being said, we are coming toward the end of the show. I got 3 minutes? Yep, perfect. We got 3 more minutes, and we are just going to write this out again. Chicago Red meets every Thursday at 7 p.m. at 5834 West Augusta. We are pushing the moves. We are making the moves. We're doing voter registration. We are hosting events. Our goal is to help people's courage become contagious. Courage is contagious. And the reason that we need to do that is because all undecided voters are voting for Donald Trump. Please know, trust, and believe that, my friends. They just are not comfortable with saying it out of their mouths because they're afraid of the social repercussions. So it's our goal and our duty to make sure that they understand that they're not by themselves. We're out here. We also are trying to get more support so that we can do more things for the campaign, because we know that Bob Fioretti is also running for a Republican position. He's running for Cook County State's attorney. Hide your kids. Hide the kids because Kathleen Burke is coming. Hide your kids. Kathleen Burke is on her way. She locks up 11-year-old children without their parents, without their mamas. She tried to put a child in jail for a murder that he did not commit. So hide your kids because Kathleen Burke is on the way. Vote for Bob Fioretti. I told Bob they need to make a commercial that said that exact thing because she does lock up children and your baby could be next. But I say all that to say, we are serious about the MAGA movement here in the city of Chicago. MAGA is a big tent group. I spoke to a business owner on the west side of Chicago, and we were having the conversation about the people who come to our rallies. Typically, when we have these rallies outside, they are attended by the men of the neighborhood, and typically these are the gangbangers. And so she was like, "Oh, you had those gangbangers down there with you, and you don't even know them. They're probably not even gonna vote." And I was like, "You see how you call them gangbangers and I call them men? Because each one of those men have a vote. Each one of those men are Americans. So we're going to engage them as well." And that's what MAGA has. You could have rocket scientists and drug dealers in the same tent with the same goal, with the same intent. We are winning, y'all. We are winning in a way that they did not expect. The RNC, hello, RNC, I love y'all so much. The DNC did not expect to come to the city of Chicago and not get any love from the people of Chicago like they did. They thought that the people were going to be in the streets. We were going to be like, "Yay, Massa here." And we say, not y'all. Go get my Donnie. With that being said, we are at the end of the show. The music is playing, and that means that it is time to go. Remember, people, register people to vote. Don't argue with Kamala supporters. They don't know better yet. It's hard when you figure out the trick first. Let them catch on, let them catch up. Our goal right now is to clearly spell out what MAGA is about and let people know that America is great for Black people right now. Stop letting people tell you that you are living pitifully, because right now in this 90-degree weather, you are sitting under an air conditioner. You're not picking no cotton. You not walking to no shack. You not taking no bucket bath. Remember, this is our country, and everything from sea to shining sea is for us and us first. We are as American as sweet potato pie, because that's an American pie, and that is ours too. This is P. Ray of Black Excellence Hour, a show for people with high self-esteem. I truly appreciate the company. Check us out on the Thursday night and catch the movement. Register 3 people to vote. See y'all later. Ciao. Mwah.